All right, let's talk about one of the fastest growing career fields on the entire planet right now. ESG. Now that stands for environmental, social, and governance. It is completely reshaping how industries work. And today, we're going to break down exactly how you can get in on the action.
So let's just get right to it. Are you looking for a career path that isn't just growing, but is literally exploding? I mean, one that's right at the heart of this huge global shift in how business gets done? Well, if you are, you've come to the right place, because the numbers we're about to see, they're absolutely staggering.
Just look at that number, $40 trillion. That's what Bloomberg Intelligence thinks the global ESG asset market will be worth by 2030. You know, this isn't just some small niche corner of the economy. This is a massive, fundamental transformation of how money moves around the world. And you guessed it, that's creating an insane demand for new talent.
Okay, so first up, let's dig into what we're calling the ESG gold rush. We'll look at the sheer size of this market and, maybe more importantly for you, the incredible demand for jobs that it's creating as we speak.
Okay, check this out. This is such a fascinating contrast. On a global scale, we're already talking about a market worth over $33 trillion today. But then, you look at an emerging market like India, it's sitting at just over $1 billion right now. Now that might seem tiny in comparison, but trust me, the potential for growth is the real story here.
And here's the proof. This chart tells the whole story. While the big global market is growing at a super healthy 18% a year, places like India are said to grow even faster, like around 23% year after year. That right there is a giant flashing sign that says opportunity.
So, what does this all mean? Well, here's the kicker. We have this multi-trillion-dollar market that's growing like crazy, but there's a problem. Or maybe for you, a huge opportunity. The demand for people who actually know this stuff is way, way bigger than the number of people available. It's happening because the whole field is so new, right? It needs this unique mix of skills: finance, data, climate science, and the traditional talent pipeline just hasn't caught up yet.
So companies are practically scrambling to find talent. But what exactly are these jobs? What even is ESG? Before we jump into specific roles, let's just take one step back and get a really simple, clear breakdown of what we're talking about.
At its core, ESG is basically a framework. Think of it as a set of standards to measure how a company is doing on things that aren't just about profit. So, you've got the E for environmental, that's stuff like carbon emissions, waste, pollution. Then there's S for social. How does a company treat its workers, its customers, and the communities around it? And finally, G for governance. This is all about how the company is run, is it ethical? Is the board doing its job? Understanding these three pillars is really the foundation for everything else.
You know, if that last bit felt a little technical, here's the absolute simplest way to think about it. I love this quote from the Corporate Finance Institute. ESG is just the company's report card on how it's doing with the planet, with people, and with the rules. That's it. It's a perfect way to remember what it's all about.
And don't for a second think this is just for, green companies. Not at all. ESG applies literally everywhere. We're talking finance, tech, healthcare, manufacturing. Every single one of these sectors is hiring ESG pros right now to help them figure this stuff out. The bottom line is, if an industry touches people or the planet, ESG matters there.
Okay, so let's get into the really practical stuff. What jobs can you actually land in this field? We're going to look at some of the hottest roles out there, from the entry-level gigs all the way up to the C-suite.
So this gives you a great snapshot of what a career path could look like. You might start out as an ESG analyst, digging into the data and scoring companies. Or if you're more into compliance, a reporting specialist helps companies create those big sustainability reports using frameworks like the GRI, that's the Global Reporting Initiative. For the tech folks, ESG data analyst roles are absolutely booming. And as you get more experienced, you could become a climate risk analyst, maybe using models like TCFD to figure out financial risks. And then, at the very top of the ladder, you have the Chief Sustainability Officer, or CSO, who's setting the entire ESG strategy for the whole organization.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, this sounds great, but how in the world do I actually get one of those jobs? It might seem really complicated, but there's a pretty clear path. So in this last section, we're going to lay out a step-by-step roadmap to get your career in ESG off the ground. And here it is, your 6-step plan. Step 1, and this is non-negotiable, learn the fundamentals. You've got to know the core concepts and the big frameworks like GRI. Step 2, pick a focus. You can't be an expert in all of it, so decide, are you into climate risk, social impact, the data side? Next, step 3, get practical skills. This means learning the actual tools, whether it's Python for data or Power BI for building dashboards. Step 4, get certified. A good certification just proves to recruiters you know what you're talking about. Now, step 5 is the one people forget, but it's so important. Build a portfolio. Create a sample ESG report or a data project. Show, don't just tell. And finally, step 6, network and apply. Get on LinkedIn, join some ESG groups, and start connecting with people. You could honestly start this whole process today.
And to help you with that very first step, here are some absolutely fantastic resources. And the best part, you do not need to spend a ton of money. Places like Coursera and edX let you audit top-tier courses for free. The Corporate Finance Institute has awesome free intro modules. If you want to get specific, the GRI Academy is perfect for reporting, and the CFA Institute has a really well-respected certificate in sustainable investing. There are so many great places to start right now.
So look, if we boil it all down for anyone who's ready to make this leap, here's the checklist. Number 1, learn the key frameworks like GRI and TCFD. 2, build a small project, like a sample report, anything to show your skills. 3, get at least one recognized certification for your resume. And 4, start networking. Seriously, these 4 things will put you way ahead of most people.
So there you have it. We've seen the unbelievable numbers, we've broken down the actual jobs, and we've laid out a clear roadmap. There is a massive skills gap sitting right in the middle of a multi-trillion-dollar revolution. So the only question left really is, are you ready to be one of the people who fills it?